guys, we are out here at B&K Auto Salvage, and we have just pulled a throttle pedal or gas pedal off of a OBS Chevy. You can kind of see some of the stuff that if you need a part, they probably got it. There's a couple things that I needed to grab today, so finished up my work day, figured I'd come out here and look around and see what they have. There's a few things that I need. I'm not going to grab everything today. One of the things I needed was, besides the pedal, but I also need a new headlight. I need a new brake light lens for the back, the rear. That's pretty much it, I think, for the OBS Chevys. I'm going to make my way. There's some nice fog lamps on there. I like those. I've got a set that I need to rewire up anyway, but a lot of these vehicles, they are just sitting out here and they're rotting away. Something else I did need was a negative battery terminal, but more or less I needed it for to serve as a ground strap, if you will, for my my 58 GMC project. So if I find a ground strap that's in decent condition, we'll probably end up grabbing that as well. The steering shaft linkage, I thought about grabbing that one. Looks like it's pinned, but I guess I could take the whole entire thing if I needed it. That's the cool thing about hot rods, is that you can build them however you want. There's no right or wrong way to do it as long as it's safe, which is the big key thing there. Here's another, I guess this is a 5.3 liter. This one here looks fairly complete with the exception of the whole front end being pushed in. So it makes it a little bit difficult to get everything out. It does say it's got a good motor and a good trans on it, so that's cool. We're probably going to have to inquire about this one here, so I'm going to take a picture of it and see what it would take to get this out. There's a couple things I need to grab: throttle position sensors, things like that go out pretty commonly on these engines. I'm probably going to play around with this one here if I can get to it. I'm going to have to find a way to prop it up so I can get in there. Let's see. This one here looks like is that a Phillips or a flathead? I'm trying to see what type of, oh, okay, I see what that is. Don't know if I've got something that small. Looks like maybe that's an 8mm. Let me see in my bag here. I just brought some of the essential tools. I didn't bring anything crazy today. They're going to be closing here pretty soon anyway. So let me stop the video because I don't have a tripod or any way to set you guys up, I don't think, as I try to toy around with this. Let me see if I can find a spot for you guys where I can kind of prop you up a little bit. Maybe you guys can see that. Let me work on this for a bit. CT761. I'm gonna have to get them to pull that engine because I can't get to what I'm looking for on there, which is the idle air control valve and the throttle position sensor. So we're gonna take a picture of this one here, let them know that we're interested in the motor and see what that's gonna cost. So I'll pick this back up when I'm off to the next one. I'm not gonna dismantle anything on here because this one looks complete. Like I said, it does show on the windshield that it has a good motor and a good trans. So I don't know how many miles are on it. I think this is probably a digital dash. Yep, dashboard's gone anyway, or at least the gauges are gone. So there's no way to really know. And I don't think they write on it how many miles are on it. So this is an 03. And looks like the only reason why it was brought in was because of an accident. So let's go ahead and move on, pick it up from there. One thing to note, when you come out here, or any salvage yard, not necessarily this particular one, but when you come out here, it is a good idea to be careful when you're opening up hoods and all that kind of stuff. Just be careful, especially in the summertime, about putting your hands places that you wouldn't put your pecker. And I say that jokingly because, you know, there's hornets and wasps and everything else out here. So just be mindful of that as you're finding vehicles that you're interested in and you're trying to open them up. Like this would be a great candidate for a build. It's pretty much all there. Just put it onto a new chassis, but it's short bed Silverado or Sierra. That's pretty cool. But another thing, just making sure that you know what tools you're going to need, or if you don't know exactly what you need, bring enough things so that you can be prepared for whatever you may find. Stainless steel drive shaft, that's pretty neat, but that's off of a Canyon, so I couldn't use that. I do need a drive shaft. What else is there? I'm trying to think of. There was something else I was going to tell you guys about too, especially if you've never went to a junkyard to pick parts. Some people, this is not for them. Other people, like myself, nice set of heavy duty springs if you needed some springs. But yeah, just kind of making sure that you think about what it is you're going to need before you venture out into the salvage yard. Make sure you take yourself some Band-Aids, a pair of good gloves, some eye protection, stuff like that, you know, that you're going to need. I can't tell you how many times I've come out here and not had what I need. So that's real world experience and advice there. So really cool to see that 5.3 liter over there though, because typically when 5.3s come in, they pull them. My assumption is the reason why they didn't pull that one was because it was so badly damaged in the front, and I think they just didn't feel like putting the time in. But it is marked as a good motor, so it must have been running at the time of the accident, obviously. So oh, something else I did, now I just thought about it. So when you come out here too, don't just look at the vehicle, look inside the vehicles. Take a minute to just kind of look around, because you know, people need parts, and sometimes parts are just laying out and about. They're not on the truck. They're laying in the truck or around the truck. Maybe someone pulls something off and realized they didn't want it or need it, and so you can find some good parts for either resale or what have you, just by taking a moment to kind of look around. Kind of throw myself off a bit. I got to go back the other way now. It's a nice day out here too. Bring a bottle of water if you're going to be out here for a while, especially if it's hot. This junkyard here, I would probably estimate they've got around maybe 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 vehicles, all years. I mean, anything from the 30s all the way up to like probably mid 2000s. So finding a salvage yard that's got a good variety of things is awesome. We're gonna kind of make our way back to, I'm a little bit off from my, okay, I think I need to be, is it over that way? I'm a little bit lost. We're gonna make our way back to the area that has the older stuff, and I'm gonna try to navigate all this carnage here without killing myself or getting cut. Dress appropriately. There's a good piece of advice. But we're gonna make our way back to the area that has older stuff, which is more or less what I'm interested in with my current project. So cool thing is I'm going to be doing that C10 project here pretty soon, and there's a lot of C10 parts here. Old refrigerator F100, International Scout. Luckily here there's not a lot of ticks and stuff too. That's something else to think about when you got to crawl through weeds. The biggest thing is we've got the accelerator pedal. I had one, I couldn't find it. Herb neat one over at Amateur Hour Restorations. Oh, there's a big old furry cat over there. But he needs one, so I'll give him the one I pulled today. And he'll have what he needs. And when you come here or come to any salvage yard, think about the next guy. And what I mean by that is that when you're going through stuff, I have to be reminded of that too. Put the hoods down. Make sure that you guys don't leave the doors open and the hoods up, because you know, the next guy's got to come pull apart, and whether it be a seat or some other trim component or an engine component, don't have the hoods up, so that way it makes it more difficult for the next guy to get apart, or you end up ruining a part inadvertently because it got wet. And here in the Midwest, we've got extremes. And what I mean by extremes is it's really hot or really cold. You don't really get a lot of in-between weather. Today is kind of an exception. It's fairly cool, overcast, but not bad at all. So let's go ahead and make our way. I got to get myself over to a C10, an older C10. You guys may recognize it if you follow me enough. It's one that I've expressed interest in purchasing from the owner of the salvage yard. He's got to find all the paperwork on it. And then once he has that, we can talk. But I think we pretty much know the numbers and all that kind of stuff. So as long as he has everything that I need documentation wise, we should be good to go. Here's one that I was looking at a while ago. I checked it out. Somebody left the door open on it, but it's got a lot of wear and rust on it. So don't think that's going to be a viable option for us. I mean, I like them rusty, but rust and rot are two different things. A lot of people ask, like, why do you get used parts? Well, some of the stuff that's hard to find can be really expensive if you buy it new or buy new old stock. So, all right, where am I going? All right, let me stop this here. I gotta find where that truck is at. and I'll pick this back up once I have it. All right, here's the C10 that I was looking at. I would like to buy it. Really straight. It's got a lot of body issues, but you know, here in the Midwest, that's what you'd expect. And but it's nothing that can't be fixed, especially with the hot rod build. The bed is a little bit undesirable, but you know, if you know how to weld and fabricate, that's not an issue. Everything's pretty much here. Chassis here. Chassis looks pretty good. The bed's just the one that fell through, which is not uncommon because they're wooden. They have wood decking, and so that doesn't get out of here. It doesn't last very long. It is a big back window, which is very desirable. And this roof line is what I love the most, just how it's pitched out. It kind of has like a spoiler type effect. But even more so, the fact is that it's not rotted. So we've got to get this truck. You know, I'm going to express interest in it again. I'm going to take another picture of it, but I really need to get this truck off from him. This is on my list of vehicles that I really, really want. What I have pulled off of it today is a visor. This is going to go on the 58. And we also pulled the mirror. You may ask yourself, well, why are you grabbing it today? Well, I don't know if the truck deal is going to work out. I mean, like I said, I've expressed interest. But if that doesn't, at least I have some good parts off of it. All this stuff is USA made, which is another benefit or bonus for me. So that's why I'm grabbing it. Even the mirrors here are IH mirrors, which is really cool. But everything's there, is complete. Someone did rob the panels off here because it did have those. So I see now that someone took those off, which is a shame because I don't think any other C10 out here has those. That sucks. So that's just something to think about. You know, when you find something, you got to jump on it, because if not, you may be missing out. Here's a Ford LTD. And like I said, I always try to look inside because, you know, sometimes people have extra parts and things that are in a car that don't belong to that car, but just over time they've stored them inside of that car. So, but yeah, so that's unfortunate. Someone stole the side panels, which is another key thing I liked about this truck. But nonetheless, I love the patina. You may ask me why you like this one so much. It's the patina. I love the teal, the blues, the rust, with some Poppy's patina or some Floetrol on this bad girl. She'll look really, really nice. So it would be nice to get this one, bring it home. All right, just stumbled upon this battery tray. Just took it off of this 58. Think it's an Apache. Not 100% certain of that, but the battery tray is a lot better than the one that I have at home on my 58. So yeah, just paying attention, and got another good score. Very solid, no rust. Even has some of the original factory black paint on it. We'll clean it up and get it installed in our 58 project.